Can someone make me spotlight just real quick? I don't know how to do this on my phone. Ali, can you make me spotlight?
Yeah, you are.
I am?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Hi guys, what's up? What's up? How are you doing today? Is the chat enabled? Drop some ones in the chat if you're ready. What is going on? The chat is not enabled. Okay. Okay, I see you guys. Hello, hello. Are you ready? Are you ready for today's call? Make sure that your team is on, guys. In case anyone's missing from your team, please remind them right now to log on, okay? Because we need some more people on here. We're only 20 people. Last time we were 50 guys, so let's make sure that everyone's on. But I'm just gonna start with. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna start right now. Okay, welcome guys to today's team call. I'm super excited for the bake call this time. Again, we have a special guest. But first of all, I want to announce the topic that we're talking about today, okay, which is limiting beliefs and procrastination, okay, guys? And drop it in the chat right now if you feel like you have been procrastinating a little bit, if you have been like maybe slacking a little bit, if you feel like you have some limiting beliefs that you think, oh, maybe I'm not meant for this. Maybe I cannot become successful. Whatever limiting beliefs you have here, drop it right now in the chat. Just let's be vulnerable, guys, because we all have that sometimes, right? Even me, like sometimes I do struggle, right? Sometimes what the hell? Welcome to Germany. Okay, guys, anyways, drop it in the chat what limiting beliefs you have. Okay, so for example, when I started this business, right, I knew that I really wanted to do this and that I need to do this because I don't have anything else, right? I was jobless, so there was no other opportunity for me but becoming successful with this, right? So there was not a lot of room for me to procrastinate, for me to slack, because I just needed, like, I knew that I needed to run, right? But obviously there are some days where I don't feel like showing up, right? Where I feel like I'm not motivated today. I love my bed, it's so cozy, I don't want to get up, right? And sometimes even, I'm a Virgo, guys, okay? I'm a Virgo, so I'm really a perfectionist, okay? I want to have everything just perfect, all right? But sometimes that doesn't work, right? And sometimes perfectionism is just wrongly spelled for procrastination, okay? It's not about being the perfect mentor, the perfect leader, the perfect recruiter, the perfect trader. It's all about getting better every single day, just 1% at a time, okay? Because in fact, like, instead of like that fast success, that fast growth that you might like seek for right now, it is better if you just have that more stable growth, right? Getting 1% better every single time, not being so hard on yourself, obviously pushing yourself, right? Learn to be disciplined instead of motivated, but at the same time being okay with sometimes not being 100% there, because in another day, right, if you just give yourself the like the permission to give every single day the best that you have, and obviously sometimes, you know, you're feeling better that day, that the other day you're not feeling yourself, right? So every single day, if you just give the best, sometimes it's 100%, sometimes 80%, sometimes it's 150% if you're feeling good, right? But you need to make sure that every single day you just keep on going, okay? So now I just want to introduce you guys to Alejandra, guys. She has the most amazing connection. She made sure that we have another special guest talking tonight, and I'm super excited for her to announce it. Okay, so the floor is yours, babe. Alejandra, my love.
Wow. Thank you so much, Alina. You're always so pretty, always on point. Look at this girl, always looking like a queen. So I want to know who is freaking excited today for today's topic. Guys, we have a very, very special guest today. So I want to talk a little bit about my procrastination and my limiting beliefs when I came into this business. So you guys know that I came from corporate America, corporate Europe. I climbed the ladder. I went to the point where I was the best paid salesperson within my job. And I thought that was the one thing that would make me happy. I thought that was the one thing that I would keep doing for the rest of my life until I was 65 years old. But when I met network marketing and this beautiful industry, for me, it was like an eye opener to know that people even younger than me were making this type of money by coaching, by inspiring other people, by growing teams. And that for me, when I realized that people were making this type of money and people were like inspiring so many people like in volumes, I was like, guys, like this person, this girl right here doesn't have, like, she's not special than me. I have everything in my power to do the same, to inspire others, to grow, to motivate a lot of people. And it was not until I believe in myself that I really start to change my paradigm. So I want to tell you guys, when I started doing network marketing, first of all, I had like 200 people on my following list. I was not really like posting, coaching anybody. I was not inspiring. I was just like a girl that, a normal girl, like from here, from Miami. And for me, the beginning was really hard to actually like talk, in front of my screen from my phone. Like make a story for me was very, very freaking scary. I will actually think, what are my parents are gonna think about me? What are my friends are gonna think about me? What is everybody that know me gonna think about me? And it was not until I realized that these people don't pay my bills that I have everything in my power to actually do what I much more than what I was doing, and also inspire a lot of people. And guess what? When I started getting that fear away of, my limiting beliefs of I'm not good enough of doing this, I'm not good enough of impacting people, guys, people just started coming my way. People just started asking me what I was doing. People was interested in my topic, in what I was what I was doing, because I believed in myself, because I believed in this project, and my, the way how I communicated in my stories and the energy and everything else, that was very, like people resonated with my energy, until it was until I really believed in myself that I actually started to see results within this business. So guys, I want to do something different with this call, because guys, I want to talk about the importance of going to events. I met Tanya at an event. It was Plugged In. It was a couple of months ago. And you guys know that I always talk about, go to events, engage with people, network with people. Guys, I saw a red hair girl like across, the other side of the room. And I'm like, wow, she's really pretty. Like she must be, like, I saw her on the banners. I'm like, she's not even reachable to talk to even say something. And I actually like went to her, I talked to her, we engaged, we actually took pictures together. I actually want to show you guys some of the pictures of the event. You guys see my screen? So these are some of the pictures from Plugged In when we actually met Tanya. And this was actually before she actually gave her speech. And I knew very little to nothing about this girl. But when she went on stage, guys, she absolutely killed the stage to the point that I was crying. She made me cry. Like I was literally I resonated so much with her story, with everything she went through, with everything that she's about to tell you guys, that I was like, I saw this and I was like, I was telling my team, the leaders from this team, guys, we need to get Tanya on this call because she did so much for me. She impacted so many people at the Plugged In event that I really want her to give, like, throw some gems in for all of our community. And for me, it's a pleasure to introduce you, Tanya. She is, a coach. She's training people mentally, physically, emotionally, and she is changing people's life with her story, and she's impacting millions and millions of people. So having said that, guys, I want you to meet Tanya. Tanya, are you there, my love?
I am here. Thank you so much. Can you hear me and see me?
Yes, we can see you.
Okay. How's the volume? Can you hear me?
Perfect. The volume is perfect.
Perfect. Can we just give these two ladies some diamonds for putting type of like event together for you? That's just service based. You can really tell by both of these women that they really want to pour into you. So can we for a moment just share appreciation and gratitude for these two women? Go ahead and just drop some diamonds in the chat box and show these women some love. Yeah, just exactly. So the two highest vibrations, the two highest emotional states to really manifest and create and to receive blessings into your life is love, conscious love, and appreciation. And so when you give more of that, you're going to receive more blessings into your life. Amazing. Look at how much love you ladies have. Thank you so much for having me on. I am so honored and grateful to be here. I love serving. I love pouring into people. And yeah, so I have something really special for you. Alejandra told me that there's some people in here from Germany, so she wanted to be respectful of your time. We were talking about time. So I want to share something free. Typically, I give this at the end, but I'm going to put it in the chat box, and it's a free tree diagram. I had my girls, my team work on this. And it's a very simple guide that when you're starting to, like I say, drag your feet in life or in your business or whatever you're doing, you end up just kind of coming back to these few core questions, and it always gets you to take like massive action, because a lot of people think the opposite of procrastination is productivity, but it's actually just action, just taking that one next step, and then everything just figures it out. So yeah, so this is free for you guys. It's a tree diagram. I'm like very visual person. That's how I learn. I'm like, don't just tell me, show me. So I wanted to give that to you guys. I know some of you, just in case you have to hop off early, that's for you. That's my gift and my level of gratitude to be able to serve. So let me share my screen, and I'm just going to jump into this and just get it going, right? All right, so let's see. How do I share real fast? Do I have access to sharing? Okay. No, I have to, you have to give me access to it. All right. Are you guys excited or what? Man, I got to present in front of 200 people via Zoom last week with the group, and they were all loving this. So when I spoke to Alejandra, and I was like, well, what is it that, what is it that your team really, really can find so much value in? And she was saying, like, the biggest thing is that as entrepreneurs, whether you have, you're working a job and then you're trying to get into another job, or you're trying to make this your full-time career, because we all know about the hustle. Like, there was one point where I had 3 jobs before I was able to fully pursue an actual career with executive coaching. Let me see if I can share now. Perfect. Nope, can't share yet. That's okay. I'm gonna enter the waiting room. So let me see.
You can share.
Okay, I can share it. Yes. All right, so let's get this going. Excited. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Just go ahead and drop some diamonds if you can see it. Looks good. Okay, yes. This is one of my favorite things. So hello for everybody just joining, or for those that have been here. My name is Tanya Oliver. What I currently do is I do executive coaching. I run an executive coaching business for high-end achievers, or people that strive to be high-end achievers in life, in their business, in their relationships, just any area of life, of just wanting to be excellent, like learning to really live in your full potential, just not the possibility of it. So if there anybody in here, just go ahead and drop like a 1 if you've ever been told like, oh my gosh, you have so much potential. And it like really made you mad, because you're like, what do you mean? Like, I'm not living my potential. Like, I'm just like, I have potential. That always used to make me really upset. It's like, clearly there's something I'm not doing if I'm not living up to my like fullest expression of myself. So this came about. So anyway, let me say, so I work with a lot of high-end execs, CEOs, companies, professional athletes, and people that are just doing extraordinary things, or that strive to just be their best self. And I came across, this is actually a very common thing. Like, there's 5 main obstacles that block people from truly receiving their blessings in life. Procrastination is one of them. And a lot of people don't understand that procrastination is actually an emotional regulator. It's not a behavior. It's a way of coping with 3 core emotions that practically almost put us in a space of like mental paralysis. So I think a lot of people really experience like mental paralysis, especially during COVID, or whenever like life just throws very extreme things at you. It's like the nervous system just automatically shuts off. So I just want to give you guys an understanding of what it is. We're going to break it into 3 segments, and just kind of, I want you guys to just take note of like 1 through 3. I'm going to be reviewing with you. I want you to, at the end, go ahead and share like the top one that you feel blocks your blessings. And I also want to say like this for you guys. So I want you to commit right now to eliminate any distractions that might block you, that might get in the way of this presentation, because it's really going to help you tremendously take your business, your life, and yourself to the next level. So I just ask that you, commit to yourself for this next hour. I don't know. Do I have an hour? How much time do I have?
Yeah, about an hour, but don't feel like the need to be interrupted. If you feel like you want to share some value, we're here for you, girl.
Okay, perfect. So this is about like a 45-minute, like I put a lot of my heart into it. And I just wanted to think of anything that you guys needed to be truly successful with this core area. So eliminate distractions, turn your phone off, put it to the side, get your pen and paper out or take notes on your computer, because this is going to be just so much value. I charge a lot of money when I actually take people through this privately. And because like Alejandra's just an amazing soul, I wanted to make sure that I, served you guys in this way. So respect your time, honor your time, commit to yourself for this next hour, and let's go. All right, so here we go. So 3 steps to stop procrastination and just wasting your time. Let's move this here. All right, so kind of told you who I am. My name is Tanya Oliver. I'm an executive coach for high-end achievers. All that means is I help people become mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually healthy and strong AF so that they can go ahead and do whatever they got to do in life at their peak performance. So the first thing I like to do is I like to get clear on words. Like, what does this even mean? When we have an understanding, we can then stop resisting something. Resistance and attachment are the 2 main reasons that we don't move forward in life. Resistance is just not understanding something and its level of importance in our already overly full life box. So we have like all these categories in life. We call it the life wheel. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a life wheel before, but we have all these categories in life. And typically when we try to add one new thing, whether it being to start a business or to get healthy or to, try to spend more time in building quality relationships, when something happens in life, that first thing that we're trying to work on is the first thing that goes out of the box. And most of the time, all of these multiple mini segments in our life, they're not even like quality based. It's like half-assed, like not even desired, not in an alignment of like what we're trying to achieve and our next level upgrade of whatever it is that we're trying to build in our life. So procrastination is just the action of delaying or postponing something. And typically it's something that is a high level of importance. We just, we can't figure out how to make it all work. So people engaging in this cycle of chronic procrastination is typically they don't know how to manage their negative moods around the task. And this is by Dr. Fuchsia Sorosis. I can't pronounce her name. I hope she's not in this live, but she practically says it's not being able to have the right tools in your toolbox to help you manage negative moods around certain tasks that are typically important to us. All right. So 3 reasons, 3 emotional regulators, 3 main emotions that really trigger procrastination, which is, I always say it's like dragging our feet on something, is overwhelm. So these are the 3. I want you guys to put 1, 2, or 3 in the box. 1 is going to be overwhelm. Like, what is your biggest thing? Overwhelm, not feeling safe to move forward. And 3 is distractions, internal and external distractions. Maybe you have children, maybe you have a family, maybe you have little fur babies. Those are distractions too. Like, what is it? Maybe your home is cluttered and your home is unorganized. Like, those are external distractions. Internal distractions are maybe anxiety, depression, like the things, the voices in your head, the self-doubt, those voices, those gremlins in your head. So out of 1, 2, and 3, 1 being overwhelmed, 2 not feeling safe to move forward, and 3 being distractions, I want you guys to put in the chat box, one of the 3, which one do you feel like is the main trigger to you procrastinating? So I'm going to give you guys just like a second. Go ahead and put in the chat box 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to give you guys tools. I'm going to give you guys a strategy behind each one so that you feel like confident to move forward with it. One of them is this download. So make sure you get your PDF because this is one big one for you, especially when you're feeling like all three of them. All right. Okay. So you guys ready? Let's go. You're like, just get to the point already. I got you. I got you. All right. Hold on. All right. So what we're doing is we're going to take each one and we're going to break it into 3 subcategories. I'm very big on structure and organization because when you have organization, you have order in your life, or when you have structure, you have order in your life. When there's no structure, there's chaos. So if you really want to get your life together, the first thing is to give yourself some structure, to give yourself like literally morning routines, night routines. Like structure in your day is going to lead you to feel more order in your life. So we're going to take each category, we're going to break it into like identifying the why, like what it is, we're going to strategize it, and I'm going to give you a nice solid toolbox for you. So the first one we're going to focus in on is overwhelm. Overwhelm, like I said, I'm very big on words and understanding what they mean, is when we feel defeated, when we feel like we've taken maybe on too much because we're so excited in the beginning when it's something new. We're like, yeah, like give me all these tasks, like I'll connect with all these people, and we'd like just take on all this stuff. I would say the 2 most dangerous emotional states to be in is overexcitement and discouragement, because we can tend to overcommit when we're overexcited, not on purpose, but we take on a way too much. So when you understand like emotions and how to regulate emotions and how to manage emotions, that's a big part of having a strong, keen sense of emotional intelligence. And it's really a superpower in business and life and relationships and everything. So when you're feeling like defeated, you're drowning, like things in life are just too heavy for you to handle, it can prevent you from really performing at a level of excellence. It can prevent you from performing just even in daily tasks. So let me go over here. Step number 1. So remember, we're going to take each emotion and we're going to break it into 3 segments because I really wanted to simplify so you guys really, really understand this. The first one is you're going to identify your why. So this stems from just not knowing how to structure things or how to manage your time efficiently. Time is one of the most valuable things. You can make a lot of money, you can lose a lot of money, you can you can always make it back. The one thing you can never get back is your time. And so we really need to understand how to not only manage time, but how to respect our time and respect other people's time, and how to also organize our time. And so overwhelm is just more of like just not knowing how to compartmentalize. So if you take each hour and you almost treat it like a client, like, okay, from 10 to 11 is like a client, and you get to choose what you're putting in that time box. So this is kind of like where we feel overwhelmed. We try to take on so many things and we feel like almost everything's important and everything's just the same level of importance. So we don't know where to start or which one to do first. And you might be jumping back and forth. And then by the time you know it, you're like, nothing even got done. Like, I don't understand how I'm so busy, but I'm not productive. So there's a difference of having a busy schedule versus a productive and an efficient schedule. Big difference. All right. And at the end, I'm going to be taking questions too. I'm going to try to get through this quickly, but also not too quickly where you don't understand it. But we'll be taking questions at the end. I'll look at your comments as well. Also, you can find me on social media. The girls tag me there. Step 2 is to strategize overwhelm. So one of my, I found this to be very impactful because I do work with a lot of like high-end, like very extremist personalities that have built like 7, 8, 9-figure businesses. And they are leaders in what they do. They are leaders. They put on events. They have millions of followers, hundreds of thousands of followers. And so they have a lot of responsibility. And one thing I say is in order to lead others, in order to be capable of truly leading others, you first have to be able to lead yourself. So everything comes back to the way that we treat and respect ourselves and our time. And sometimes that requires slowing down in order to be able to speed up. And that comes a lot with being able to strategize your life, your time, your energy. So the first thing you can do is just like get it all out, give yourself permission I always have pen and paper near me. I always have like, when I'm doing, my team and I, we're going to start getting way more into social media. So anytime I have an idea, I just like write it in these things, in these little books. So one thing you can do is you can just brain dump everything. At the end of the day, I have my clients and they said it's been very impactful. And even for me, is I just write everything down, like everything that's in my head, especially at the end of the day, so I can rest. So just brain dump everything, like how you're feeling, what you're feeling overwhelmed with, what's weighing heavy in your heart, what's triggering your mind. And a lot of people don't understand is like anxiety stems from being in the future for too long. There's nothing you can do about it. So anxiety stems from future, depression stems from past, self-judgment, self-criticism, you know, beating yourself up, being self-abusive, because that happens to a lot, like a lot of high-end achievers and performers, or people striving to be that you have big dreams, you're big visionaries, everybody's here for a reason. There's greatness in you. But what prevents you from achieving great things is how you're not even on your own winning team. You're like your biggest like critic versus an ally. You're a liability versus an asset to yourself. And if you're trying to be an asset to the world, you first have to be an asset to yourself. And so this is going to be very helpful with at least just kind of like writing everything out, and to be able to, like, in a safe way where you can just get it out of you and just like, because energy needs to move. Emotion is just energy in motion. All right, so let me go over here. So the toolbox tips. So say, like, the cool thing is we want to have what gets people, the difference between people that are doing extraordinary things in life and they're, making the money, they have the business, they have the relationships, they have like all these things, is it really just comes down to their toolbox. And so a lot of people, they just don't have the right tools. They have tools that actually hurt them. So if they have a bad day or they don't know how to, for example, regulate overwhelm, maybe they just go to the couch and eat a pint of ice cream, versus like taking a moment, brain dumping everything, having these tools over here, and then actually taking one thing and taking massive action on it. Because remember, the opposite of procrastination is action, not perfectionism. I know Elena talked a little bit about that, about like the perfectionism, and it's just taking action. And it could just be one thing of like organizing something, taking your one big list and breaking it into multiple different tasks. So the tools for over here is just time and intensity. This actually, no, it's not on this one. So this is one of my favorite tools. I literally can relate to all three tips, like all three of them. They just don't control me because I have this information that I'm sharing with you today. So what I mean by time and intensity is, say, for example, you're trying to get like your body and like you're getting really, really healthy because you know that you want to be able to keep up with your dreams and your goals. The reason why we want to be healthy and fit is that we have the endurance to keep up with and the energy to be able to keep up with ourself, our future self. So if something is overwhelming to you and you're literally about to kind of go into that mental paralysis because the overwhelm took over, one thing you can do is, I always say, come back to time and intensity. So what does that mean? Time is, what is the minimal amount of time that I can give my energy and my attention to this project or task? Maybe it's working out, for example. I could do a 10-minute in-home workout. And how can I make it as easy as possible? I could do a floor workout. I can go into child pose and do like some yoga stretches, but I gave it my attention. And what this does is it actually starts to build up self-trust. It builds up self-respect. It builds up self-value. It builds, when I say self-trust, I'm talking about I made a commitment regardless of my emotional state, and I followed through with my promise to myself. And all commitment means is staying true to what you said you were going to do long after the emotion you said it in has left you. So a lot of this even comes back to even like understanding self-worth. And I find that to be the core of everything. I did a poll the other day on my Instagram And it's very interesting to see what people's response was. And I asked, do you believe that your net worth impacts your self-worth? And then I asked, do you believe your self-worth impacts your net worth? And I got a 50-50 response. So I want you to kind of keep that question in place and see what your answer would be. Actually, go ahead. I would love to know and there's no wrong answer. I mean, they both impact each other, but self-worth equals net worth or net worth equals self-worth. That's a deep one. It's a really deep one. Okay. So hopefully that one made sense. Take away time and intensity. Make the time as like minimal as possible. Typically I have like a 10-minute rule. So if I say, okay, I'm going to go through paperwork. And I was like, I don't have time for paperwork today. Like you said, you're going to go through paperwork yesterday. You're going to go through paperwork 10 minutes. You can do it for 10 minutes and make it as easy as possible. Like put on some music, light a candle, like set the environment cool. And then, like I said, that builds up momentum. The more you start to accomplish things that you said you're going to accomplish, that more you build up momentum and you get hooked on it. You get hooked on executing. You get hooked on accomplishing. Then you want to say like, okay, what's next? In a healthy way, not like, an unhealthy way. So, all right. So eliminate the intensity of it and make it as easy as possible. So I think that's about it for that one. Perfect. Okay. So that was overwhelm. We talked about 3 things with overwhelm. So now we're getting into this one. This one is a really, really big one. This one like hit me in the heart when I first found out about it. Not feeling safe to move forward. When 8 years ago, when I was overcoming addiction, and I have so many like life stories as we all do in this one lifeline, but I say past life stories in this lifeline because I'm not claiming my past as my present. So that's a cool little tip for you guys. The words that we speak are very powerful. They're affirmations, and what we speak, we bring back into us because we're constantly being programmed. You're being programmed right now. I respect you guys, so I'm programming you guys with some great things. But every single day, the music you're listening to, the books that you're reading, the mentors that you bring on, you're being programmed, you're being brainwashed. So be selective with what you're fueling into your cells, into your mind, into your heart. This one, 8 years ago, when I was learning how to overcome self-sabotage and I was just tired of my own BS. I think somebody's not muted. Just so everybody can like be, I don't know. Make sure you all are muted so that it's respectful for everybody paying attention. All right, cool. So I learned about something called EFT. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of EFT before. Go ahead and type like yes or no in the chat box. EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. And it's if you've heard of acupuncture, a lot of people have heard of acupuncture. It's just acupressure. And what it does is it regulates and calms the nervous system as you speak out loud and tell yourself that it is safe to be able to express yourself and that there are no repercussions. In order to bring unconscious awareness into conscious awareness, it happens in 3 ways. Writing, so you can make sure you write this down. This is very important. Writing it. That's why I say like brain dump, write it out, like journaling. That's why the power behind journaling is just people don't understand why things are important. That's why they resist it. Remember from the very beginning, I said about resistance and really looking things up and understanding it. So like you don't feel like you're repulsing it. What was I saying? There's so many things I want to tell you guys. Okay, so the EFT, right? So it's writing it, speaking it, and hearing what you just said. So when you teach something, you actually learn it 10 times faster. That's what I love about teaching is I'm constantly getting to learn things at a very rapid pace because I have to understand it to the point where I have to be able to teach it. I have to be able to communicate efficiently so that you're understanding what I'm saying so that you can go ahead and have these power tools for yourself so you can be successful. So writing it, hearing it, and speaking it. So EFT allows you to speak as you calm your nervous system, because when our nervous system and our parasympathetic system like freaks out, we go into mental paralysis, and it's like we don't hear anything, like nothing can come through. It's a real thing when we're really stressed out, we're overwhelmed, we don't feel safe, or we're very distracted. So the best superpower you can be in is in a calm state of energy. And so I was learning a lot about not feeling safe to move forward when I was getting into EFT work, AKA tapping. And this is just not trusting yourself to make the right decision. Somebody said earlier in the chat box when we were doing the introduction of what was going on today, of like not trusting themselves because of past decisions. And those are facts. And that's where a lot of this time is like the lack of trust in ourselves, because our past self had made decisions that our present future self had to go back and clean up. Everybody, every level that they're playing in the game of life has made really poor decisions, but we have to make sure that we understand, like, knowledge can only come from experience. If you are not giving yourself experiences or new experiences, regardless of your emotional state, you will never know. You will never reprogram your belief systems. And so, but this is a real thing that can block people from actually moving forward, because remember, the topic of conversation is procrastination. So not trusting yourself to make the right decisions because of our past mistakes, I call them past mess cleanups. We all have them. But ideally, we want to find the message in our mess. We want to find the messages in our mess. And hopefully, instead of the next time doing a face plant, we maybe just trip and get back up, or we maybe just see the pothole in front of us and we like walk around it. Ideally, we find our messages in our messes. So we understand that it's safe. Feeling safe is defined as having no significant risk of harm or damage, while unsafe is defined as a significant risk of serious harm or significant damage. So I'll give you a quick story on this. I signed a contract a few months ago that I was really procrastinating because of this reason of not feeling safe to move forward. I just signed a contract to write a book. So my book will be out next year around this time, published book. Whoop, whoop. But it took me a while to sign the contract because, number one, it's a very large amount of money invested. They're not paying me, I'm paying them. And I wasn't sure if that would be the person, because I've made poor decisions in the past that have led to me having to clean up past messes. And it took a lot of money. It took a lot of energy. It took a lot of time. It was very emotional. And I wasn't sure I trusted myself, just like the same concept of like not trusting yourself to move ahead and making the right decision. And at the end, I'm going to ask you a really important question. But this was more of like, I had to ask myself, if I don't do this and 1 year passes from today, will I be okay with my decision? And that's what triggered everything into be like, no, I won't be okay with that. If a year goes by and nothing changes, I will not be okay with that. And so we have to remember, like, there's never going to be a convenient time. But you have to not be okay with the consequences. And I'm going to say that again, like, there's never, convenience doesn't exist. Being ready never exists. But the consequences that come with it, you have to ask yourself, am I okay with the consequence? A consequence, it's not a negative or positive, it's just an outcome. Consequence is, when I do this, this is the result of it. So consequences are results, they're outcomes. It's not like a negative thing. It's just, we've been taught that it's a negative thing, but it's just an outcome. All right. So step one for feeling unsafe is just based on past experiences or beliefs, programmed on assumptions. So a lot of this stems from beliefs. Beliefs stem from experiences. So in order to shapeshift our beliefs, to transform our beliefs, we have to give ourselves permission to create new experiences. That's the only way our beliefs change, because if a belief is, I'm doing this and I get this as an outcome, then that means I have to do something else or something different in order to get a new outcome. All right, so okay, so here's some questions to ask yourself when it comes to this. It's more just kind of like asking the right questions. If I move ahead, will I be safe? Number two is, do I deserve to move ahead? This also comes down to deserving. Am I worthy of being successful? Am I deserving of being successful? A lot of times people are actually more afraid of success and being able to take on the responsibilities that come with success. When we talked about lead, if you have to, in order to lead others, you first have to learn how to lead yourself, versus the fear of failure. So ask yourself, if I did receive everything that I've been, complaining about that I don't have, because I'm like, I don't have this and I don't have that, and we're in this lack mentality. What will I do with it? If you guys got like $100,000 in your bank account today, how would you manage it? How would you invest it? Some people would lose it within the month. Some people will lose it within 6 months, versus some people would like times 10 it, times 100 it. So everything comes down to like being prepared to receive. Who will I need to become? Who will I need to become? And who will I be without this behavior? A lot of times people freak out because they've been operating a certain way for so long that they don't even know like who they would be without that. So these are more deeper subconscious things that really, really block people's blessing. I told you all I'm getting pretty deep with you. That's what I do. So, that's what we're here for, to be honest. All right. So then we get into two main questions that come with those questions. I used to be before, like working with somebody and they're like on the fence with it, or with a program that we're starting. We're running the Ultimate Achiever Academy coming up this month. And there's a lot of people that, when you're dealing with service-based, or you join this mastermind or this boot camp, there's always going to be those questions of like, oh, what if I'm wasting my money? What if I'm wasting my time? What if I don't get what I want out of it? Or what if this is, a lie? All these what ifs. So, okay, well, what's the worst case scenario of me doing this? And then what's the best case scenario of me doing this? Because a lot of times we're only focusing on the worst case scenario, and we're not even giving ourselves the opportunity of being like, well, what's the best thing I could get out of this? If I go all in and I really like commit with conviction, and I trust my mentors, and I trust my guides, and I trust my coaches, and I go all in, what's the best case scenario? So whenever you're on the fence of making a decision of not feeling safe to move forward, and these are the questions I had to ask myself. Okay, worst case scenario, I lose, $50,000. Best, yeah, all right, I just told you what I spent on it. I lose $50,000. Best case scenario, I'm a best-selling author. I've got a book. I get to impact millions of people because it's really not about me. I get to impact millions of people, and like, it's going to change their life. And like, how exciting is that? Like, what if I'm not here in 2 more years and I'm able to just leave a legacy? Because the point is like, you guys are in these groups for a reason. Like, these ladies are like, they're world shakers. Like, I don't just come on any type of platform. Like, you're with the best of the best. You're with people that are passionate, that they've got like a purpose. They're not just making money, but like what you're doing with the money, how you can serve others, how you can impact others, how you can have a better quality of life. You have a better quality of life. You're a happier person. Happier people do better things in life. Just how it works. And so a few tools for this is brain dumping. I always come back to brain dumping. If you're super busy, or if you're in the car, if you're driving, you got kids in the car, you just voice memo. I'm always voice memoing myself like all the time, because sometimes I just want to get it out, and I don't want to get my stuff out because, number one, it's not fair to brain dump on your friends or family. Yes, if you want to pay for a coach, and yes, if you want to pay for a therapist, you can brain dump on them because they're giving you permission, because energy is money. It's transactional, it's energy. And so they gave you permission because you're exchanging money for, that. But to brain dump on friends and family is not fair. Or you can ask permission. Because you don't know what people are going through and what they're going through, and not everybody's going to share. So when I go through hard times, I actually pay people to brain dump on them, or I brain dump in my phone. So be respectful, remember said, of people's time, their energy, and, don't take advantage of that. Also, accountability. You guys are in this group. There's like 50 or something amount of people. I know there's like 30 of you live, but accountability. Find somebody that you trust that's in the same wavelength as you, and hold each other accountable. hire a coach. You guys are in this group. You're in a boot camp. Join a mastermind. You're here. You're in this mastermind. Like find ways to help allow people to program you in a desired way of what you want to accomplish, or what you're trying to shift and up level in your life. Number 3. So remember, there's 3 emotional regulators when it comes to procrastination. So now we're getting into number 3. Number 3 is distractions. Remember in the beginning, I said, I want you to say 1, 2, or 3. It could be all 3. I'm like all 3, they still live there. They just don't control me. Like I see them. I use these tools on a day-to-day basis. I have a lot of projects. I have a lot of the things that I attend to, and I need to pull these tools like every single day. But we get massive shiznit done. So distractions, AKA avoidance behavior. It is a behavior. We have internal and external distractions. Distraction is a thing that prevents someone from giving their full attention to. When you're not fully present, you can't give something all of like your power. Like that's what it is. It's like charging your energy, your attention is charging. It's like if you're like out to dinner with somebody you really love and they're just physically there and they're like emotionally checked out. It's like, why did you even sit down and have dinner with me? I could at least be enjoying this by myself. Like, get out of here. like it's not cool. It's not okay. And that's the society, unfortunately, we live in. But like, if change stems from you, one person at a time, taking personal and full responsibility for their action, their behaviors. So it's a thing that prevents someone from giving their full attention. Any act or series of actions that enable us or an individual to avoid an unpleasant situation is more of avoidance behavior. We try to avoid an unpleasant situation. Maybe you have a project, or even putting this presentation together. Like I was like, oh, I can't look at this anymore. But I knew that there was certain pieces that were missing, because my brain likes to look at everything as like a puzzle. And it's like, we take these pieces of a puzzle and it's like thrown in the air, and it's like our job to kind of like see which piece fits to create this beautiful image of like a desired image of what we want to create. And so in order to do that, it requires time, energy, and like full attention in order to put the right pieces together. We see if it like matches, and we got to put somewhere else. So we avoid not getting it done. Avoiding not getting something done can actually be more stressful than actually doing it. So I have a client in my mastermind group, and she was like, I give it homework to the gang, because a lot of this stuff is 1% content. So meaning this masterclass right now is a 1%, and you applying it and integrating it into your day-to-day life is going to be 99% of your change and transformation within your life. So you can't be blaming things on other people because processes and systems don't work. So if your business isn't working and you're showing up to these events every single time, but you're not integrating or implementing everything on a day-to-day basis, that's on you, and I'm not going to say like there aren't sometimes like programs where we put all of our energy, attention on broken systems. But for the most part, like if you're here, like you're in a system and a framework that works, especially if other people have heightened levels of success. And it's on you if you're not winning. It's on you if you're not asking for help. It's on you if you're not integrating and implementing it on a day-to-day basis. There are really no days off. You can be strategizing, you can be, taking care of yourself, getting your energy right, recalibrating your energy. And that's still you working on you, because people come to us for us. People come to you for you. They want your experience, your time, your energy. So it's your job to make sure that you're right in all aspects. So, what I was saying about this one real fast is like, say, for example, you are like, oh, I need to take a break and go to the pool, versus I live in Miami too. So like, there's so many distractions. I like look outside, I see the water, and I'm like, the boats, the jet skis. Like, you got work to do, T. So if I went out there, I wouldn't even be, we talk about being fully present. I wouldn't even be fully present, because my mind is like, I have a task to do and I need to execute and I need to show up and I need to deliver and I need to be prepared so that I can serve these people. And if I'm out there and I'm messing around until it's exactly time for me to show up, like there's a lot of work behind the actual work of showing up. People just see, like, in order to make something look effortless, it is actually a lot of effort behind it. So, all right, let's get into that. I'm not trying to have TED Talks within the presentation. Step one is to identify your why. So we become ADHD, and this is a big one. I was like, oh, but I have ADD for all my programs and stuff like that. Like, but I have my attention. I was like, yeah, everybody is, because we're trained to be ADHD. And then when I said earlier, remember we talked about affirmations and claiming it. I'm not claiming any of this. I'm going to claim focus AF. I'm going to claim productivity. I'm going to claim efficiency. So when you give yourself and you set yourself a new internal GPS, your mind has to only just figure out how to get to that one target. If you have a target of ADHD, if you have a target of distraction, if you have a target of this, your brain is going to go that way. You can't be in two energetic spaces at the same time. You have to decide. You have to decide which direction you're going to go, which direction you're going to commit to. So, and then having the right tools when things pull at you. So we have to, and then also the biggest thing too, I had a talk with my personal assistant the other day, and she was like, yeah, what are we talking about? She was like, I feel bad, like rewarding myself. Cause when my team, like, they work on weekends, or we have projects to do, or we have like a launch, I always reward them. I'm like, hey, I'm going to sell you a bonus. And they're like, I know, but like, I don't believe it. And when she's got one of my assistants, she has like 5 kids, and she gets like massive work done. She does. She does all that's what I'm talking about. External distractions. She's holding the baby. We're on a meeting call. I was like, you go, girl. Like, yeah. But she was saying how, like, in parenting, they say like it's not healthy to teach to reward. And honestly, that's how I get everything done. I say, okay, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to go to yoga. And it doesn't always have to be money wise. Like if you set a target and a goal of just accomplishing something or focusing on something for like an hour and 45 minutes, and then you say, and then I can go and take like a break to scroll Instagram, or then I can go and take, but it has to be this. I'm talking about like time organization, time blocking, time auditing of how you're spending your time, especially if you're a big visionary and you want to get massive things done, and you want to create a dent in the world, and you want to operate at excellent level. Like you have to really, like, literally everybody will tell you their schedules are literally like organized. So we have to create a new internal GPS. All right. And setting healthy boundaries. This is like, oh yeah, this is identifying. So the art of distractions is just not setting boundaries, not time blocking, and not having core values is a big one. A lot of times when I first start working with people, even extraordinary, like people that are super successful on the external, like money wise, they haven't established their core values. And that's why they're not feeling fulfillment in their life. So the reason why we tend to set very large targets, or we want certain things, like I call them external goals, like a certain type of car, a certain amount of money in the bank account, a certain type of lavish lifestyle, or a certain type of wardrobe, is because we believe that it's going to make us feel some type of way. And so by getting clear, now that becomes very dangerous, because if you don't get clear on your core values, I always say like there's 3 core values that we have, my company has with my team. And I always tell them this because some of them are really struggling with them right now, is we'll never let business compromise 3 things: my health, my heart, or my peace of mind. So anything that is going to pull away from those 3 core values, it's a no. I'm not going to compromise my peace. I'm not going to compromise my health. I'm definitely not going to compromise my heart, my passion, my, like my ability to serve. Like if it compromises those, it's a definite no. And when you're clear, every decision you make in your life can then align, and it makes it a lot easier to be able to pull and choose like what's in alignment to like your mission in life and where you're going. And as you're building, and even if you don't know the big picture, you just got to kind of figure out the next step. That's it. Honestly, that's how I've been moving my business. I had no clue I would have been built this type of a business. Like people are like, how'd you do that business? Like, what do you do? I was like, I just kind of like went with it. Like every year kind of expanded, and then I tweaked it, and I built this course, and I just listened to people. and put things together, because I create solutions. That's what I do. That's what my gifts are. With people's lives. Tell me to organize your home, forget it. Organize your life, I got you. Like, two big differences, but we all need help and support. We all need each other. Okay, so strategizing distractions, external and internal. I'm gonna tell you a quick, really funny story. Might gross some of you out, but whatever, it's facts. So I recently became a plant mom in Miami, and no animals, because like my lifestyle just doesn't work for me, animals. And I became a plant mom. So I'm in the Aventura Mall, and this beautiful plant, like gorgeous plant, it's like probably the same height as me, like 5'2". So I was like, oh my gosh, this plant is gorgeous. It looks healthy. The lady's talking to me. She's like, persuading me. And, I was like, all right, I want the plant. So put it in the car, bring it back. I don't know how I'm maneuvering it back in here. Got my dolly. And a few weeks go by and these gnats start appearing. There's annoying gnats. And I was like, what the heck? Like, where'd these come from? I'm not dirty. I don't have dishes around. Like, all my other plants were fine, healthy. And then they build up and there's gnats. And I messaged a lady. I'm like, yo, what's up with this plant? Like, where are these gnats coming from? She's like, oh, the soil attracts gnats. And I was like, well, why didn't you tell me this before I bought the plant, lady? Like, that was rude. So like disrespectful. And so it's attracting more and more gnats. And then even to the point where I was like, okay, I didn't want to get rid of the plant because I loved it. It added beautiful aesthetics, and I didn't want to get fake plants. So I don't know why I was against it. And one day I'm 40 minutes into this pre-recording for one of my courses. And a gnat like flies in my mouth and I start choking, and I had to like literally start the whole thing over again, got rid of the plant. I did all the things with like the soap and the apple cider vinegar and the sugar, and it was just out of control. So that's how I feel distractions are. they're like not going to hurt you, but they're like, ding, 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 ding. Like they're like all over it on like the external, and you're trying to like focus, and it's like, so I kind of, so my assistants and I, we like laugh about it, and we create now it's called a gnat list. So my distraction list is called a gnat list. You guys can use that if you want. And we just kind of like write down all of like the distractions. Cause when you're understanding of what gets in your way and you're honest about it, you can actually do something about it. But when you try to shut it down and pretend that it doesn't exist, it's just going to keep showing up there. Things don't go away until we handle them. The only way out is through, like always. So I just thought that was a funny story. I kind of like laugh about it because literally gnats are like, distractions are literally gnats. Like, I don't know if you guys have had experience with gnats like I did. Number one lesson learned, don't buy plants with soil that attracts gnats. But so in order to, I say like prioritize distractions. So what I mean about prioritizing distractions, everybody says eliminate distractions. That's setting yourself up to fail. So a lot of times when we're learning how, like even negative emotions, one thing that I teach people with about like emotional management and emotional intelligence, because I teach that, is we have to lean into them. We use them as information. When you try to shut something down, it's only going to build up. It's just asking for your attention. And in order, it's like a child or something. Like, I mean, I don't have children, but I have like nieces and nephews, and like that's their only way of trying to communicate. So you have an inner child that is telling you, I need your attention. I need you to pay attention to me. But because you're focusing on something, we're focusing on this, like, this is our time. We're all sharing together. We're all here as a collective sharing this time together. What I do, one of my success tips, I'm going to share with you in the toolbox real fast, but if I have a thought I feel is important and it's trying to distract me from you, I'm going to put a note and I'm going to keep going. So now I just got it out of me, and my distractions actually have an allocated time every single day where they get my attention. So what I mean about prioritizing distractions, if time block them from 2 to 3 or from 5 to 6, I can go through my distraction list, and whatever I can handle in that 1 hour of what I get through is going to get my attention, but it has to wait its turn. So do you see how I'm saying, like, we're not avoiding it. We're not pushing it away. We're leaning into it. We have a tool for it. We put it in the toolbox, and then you can have my time when you can have my full attention when it's your turn. But until then, You don't have my attention. So what you also want to do is you want to identify, is it urgent or is it important? There's a difference. Urgency is like, I gotta go to the post office. I gotta drop this off. I gotta get groceries. I gotta do this. I gotta call the guy. I gotta call, like, all these things. I gotta email Alejandra back. I gotta, that's like literally little gnats. So those are urgent. Important is your passion project. It's something that maybe isn't going to make you money today or maybe a month from now, but it's going to bring you a lot of fulfillment. It's going to align you to who you're trying to become in your life. Like if you're trying to create this ideal character and you're trying to step into a higher version of yourself or actually live in your potential, there are things that require work every single day. You know, like maybe people don't think, like, for the biggest thing that I see a lot of entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs neglect is their health, their body. But if you understood that your body and your exercise is one of the greatest forms of medicine to quiet the chaos of your mind, and if your mind is such an asset for you of how to perform, wouldn't you take care of your body every single day? It becomes a non-negotiable. So my workout time is important. It's not urgent, it's important. So one of the things that build you up to be a high performing human being, to have very strong energy, you don't have to be loud. I'm not a loud person, but my energy and my presence is very strong because I have certain things every single day that are non-negotiables that help keep me built up into this like energy field. And everybody has the ability to do that too. It's just you're either doing it or you're not, because you're either so focused on the urgent things versus the important, or you prioritize, you know, you give the urgent things like its own time later on. Same thing with your business. There are a lot of behind the scenes that people don't understand, of putting a presentation together, of making it look so simple. Like how many weeks it took me to put this together, to make it as simple as possible, and to collect all the information of the most important things that's going to actually help somebody move forward in life. That took a lot of time, energy, and thought and attention. And if I just every single day was like, oh, it's not making me any money, it's not making me any money, it's not, like, this is important, it's going to serve a lot of people, and so I'm going to every single day give it an hour, give it 30 minutes, give it 20 minutes, and then it builds up to being this, you know. And sometimes it's like a puzzle. Towards the very end, it all just makes sense, but in the beginning you're like, this doesn't even make sense, I don't even know people are going to understand it, like it's all over the place, but eventually it all comes together. That's how everything works in life. Almost done, promise. So prioritizing distractions, the external, internal, urgent or important, and is it aligned with your core values? Yes, this is in alignment with my core values. A lot of what I teach is a very big common issue for many, many people. I get to be blessed with working with so many people. I've been doing this for 18 years. And, you know, so every single day, like I actually get to test these things out. And most importantly, I'm a human being, and I'm the first that's going to tell you, like, I create what I need too. I teach what I need. And this stuff really works. The work works. You just have to do it. And the biggest thing is, like, what really inspired this presentation is I built out this course called the Productivity Get Shit Done course. You know, I was like, let's make it fun and funny. But it's about taking a busy schedule and turning it into a productive schedule, teaching people how to organize their time, how to maximize their time, how to like put all of these things together without compromising their self-care, their family, or anything like that. And so I built out this program. I was so excited about it, and people still were procrastinating it. And I was like, well, why? I'm giving you guys literally the secret sauce. I'm giving you guys the answers. I'm giving you guys like literally everything that I know that took me years to figure out, and you're still not doing it. I don't understand. And what it came down to was people were like, I don't know, I keep procrastinating. I kept hearing this word over and over and over again. And I was like, well, the key to life, and the reason why I'm telling you guys this is because like the key to having a perfect framework. So Alejandra can give you like this perfect system. Elena can give you this perfect system. And it's not the perfect systems. It's about understanding all of the blocks and the obstacles of the journey, kind of like a video game, and procrastination being one of them, and having the right and understanding to remove each block so you can get to the next level. And so a lot of times people aren't able to follow through with perfect blueprints and perfect frameworks and perfect systems that like entrepreneurs and coaches give people, because people just don't understand how to remove things and how to get out of their own way. And that's where this masterclass got inspired, because this was a reason why my clients weren't actually moving forward, was because of this, and just understanding it's actually more about emotions. So understanding your core values and understanding like that's going to help you consistently move forward and not quit on yourself, which is a big deal. So the opposite, like I said, of procrastination is focus, setting that new internal GPS for yourself. When you allow yourself to be distracted all the time and you don't have a clear singular goal, you're going to waste a lot of your time, a lot of money, and a lot of energy. And that's where a lot of people will be like, well, what's the point? And they become discouraged and they get in the space of the F it mindset. So time is gained by learning how to manage it properly and to respect it. So the ways to do that is, number one, time blocking. Like I mentioned about organizing your time, blocking your time, understanding urgent tasks will get your attention at specific hours. Like we said, like the NAT list, I call it the NAT list. I think it's hilarious. Now we just laugh about it. And when they pop up, you write them down, give it a 1, 2, and a 3. So one of the biggest things when I presented this last week with the group, they were saying like, well, how do I know what is a 1, 2, and a 3? So what I mean by 1, 2, and 3 real fast is like 1 means it needs to get done today. So when you do your brain dumping, give it a 1, 2, and a 3. 1 means it needs to get done today. 2 means it needs to get done in 2 to 3 days. And a 3 means it needs to get done by this week. One of the biggest questions I get when talking about this or teaching it is really, but I feel like everything is like a 1, like 1, 2s, and 3s are all 1s. Everything's important. I totally get it. Like I had the same issue until I came up with this one question. Like I said, when you ask yourself questions, you're going to get answers. One of the things they teach in entrepreneurship is ask good questions. Learn to ask great questions, because then you're going to receive great answers. So it's really about asking the right questions. And one of the questions that will really help you get clear on what your 1s are is, if I go to bed tonight and I put my head on the pillow and I feel satisfied of what I accomplished, what would those things be? That will really, really get you clear on what your like priorities are. Like if you got, maybe it's just going to yoga. Like mine the other day was like cleaning this, that, getting the slides done, no, yoga. And that was what was important, you know, because it was my peace of mind. Remember, 3 lines of business, my peace of mind, and how I would sleep and how I would perform today. So that just gives you a really good understanding of that. And the long-term cost of procrastination, because a lot of people don't look at this. Well, what would it cost me if I continue to hold on to this behavior? Procrastination actually did a study on this, because this is where I started thinking about self-worth. And then like, remember, when you ask questions, you're going to receive answers. You have a subconscious, you have a conscious, you have a super conscious segment of yourself, you have a conscious, and you have a subconscious. People don't know about the super conscious self. This is our higher self. This is our, you know, people talk about like limitless, powerful, superhuman. That's your super conscious. So when you ask questions, eventually that segment of yourself is going to start giving you the answers. And there's certain non-negotiable things like your spiritual workouts, like your meditations, where you actually get to download these type of things if you're consistent with it. Sometimes consistency could be 3 years, but it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, like you got there. So when we eliminate time and intensity, remember, time and intensity, eliminate time and intensity. So I started asking myself, I'm like, well, what would it actually cost me to still do this behavior? And it's like low self-worth, high blood pressure, low self-esteem, lack of self-trust, and not feeling successful, anxiety, depression, stress. So these are some things of what it's going to cost you more in the long run when you keep holding on to that behavior, feeling all over the place and just really not ever reaching whatever goals you want to reach. So quick recap. We talked about root cause of procrastination. We talked about the 3 segments, the overwhelm, the not feeling safe to move forward, and the distractions. We talked about strategizing. We talked about toolboxes. In the comment box below, I want you guys to write 1, 2, or 3. Which was the biggest takeaway for you when it came to this actual presentation of what you felt would like block your, I say blocking my blessings, dragging my feet on bigger things in life. And I also want to ask you guys a question. So as you're putting in the comment box below, and I know you guys are like on time frame, I get like really carried away because I want to give you guys so much, like everybody. When you say later or now, how is procrastination impacting your life? How is it impacting your business? How is it impacting how you're performing as a human being? You know, like as a human being. And one thing I learned is like when I'm not showing up, I'm actually doing a disservice. When I'm not in my full power and I'm not taking care of myself, I'm doing a disservice because people, I can't help people. I can't serve people to the highest level. And so when you guys ask these questions, like it really like puts a fire inside of your heart. And I also want to ask you this. If 1 year goes by and you're still in the same place. So I want you to close your eyes for a moment. I always like to do this if I can ask your permission. You don't have to participate if visualization like weirds you out. But if you guys plan vacations, you do visualization anyway. I had to talk to I had Christian clients. So like, I don't know about crypto. I was like, do you plan vacations? Yes. Okay. So you visualize. It's the same thing. So I want you to close your eyes and I want you to put your hand on your heart. Your heart is where your truth resides. And you instantaneously calm your nervous system. And I want you to imagine that it is September 1st, 2023, and 1 year goes by, and you're exactly where you want to be. You're successful, whatever is in alignment to success. You're healthy, you're strong, you're confident, you're clear, you're thriving in your life. No more stress, no more struggle, no more grind. Maybe you're grinding, but it's because you want to, not because you have to. And you just feel free. You feel happy. You feel healthy. You feel whole. You feel loved. You feel appreciated. And I want you to just tap into that feeling just for a moment. Wealth, abundance, healthy relationships with yourself and with others. Feeling safe and secure. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And if something got brought up, you can go ahead and put that in the chat box. And now if I have your permission, we're going to do one more visualization exercise. Yes? Okay. Hand on your heart. Just take a deep breath in and settle into your body for a moment. And I want you to imagine that it is September 1st, 2023. It's exactly 1 year from today. And you're in the same exact place as you're in right now. Maybe a little bit better, a little bit worse, a little bit healthier, a little bit less healthy. But nothing really has changed inside of you. You're still in somewhat survival mode. You're feeling worried, whatever emotions you're currently, whatever state you're in right now, you're still procrastinating, you're in maybe a toxic relationship, you're struggling with your finances. I'm not quite sure what your situation is, but your situation is still just about the same. And you feel the same way about yourself and your life. And a whole year goes by and you're in the same spot. Take a deep breath in and release. How did you guys feel with that one? I know I don't like doing that with you guys either, but it's the truth. Many people, unless they make some type of different decisions and give themselves some new experiences, it's the truth of their life. And growth is not comfortable. Growth is not convenient. Doing the extraordinary is scary and inconvenient and sometimes really hard. But you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? And the answer is always yes. answer is always yes, to show up for yourself. And that includes your business, because your business is a big part of your freedom. It's a big part of your life. It's an extension of you. It's not necessarily you, but it's an extension of you and how well you're showing up. And so I just wanted to kind of do that for you guys, because it really, sometimes we have to see things differently. We have to look at things with a space of honesty until we decide that we want to change our circumstances. And so how to get focused and put it all together. I shared the link with you guys on the free chart for the procrastination. It's literally like this. It's a T chart, and it kind of just gives things into perspective, especially when you're feeling super overwhelmed, and you can just download that and you can print it out, put it on your wall. And also, just one thing I wanted to offer to this group, because I just think you guys are amazing, is if you go to this site, tanyacoliver.com/productivity, the whole course, if you're trying to figure out how to put it all together and how to time on it and how to organize, because that's the biggest thing. Sometimes you're like, okay, I'm ready to go, but like, how to put it all together? The productivity is really to help you enhance your performance and operate at higher levels. And this is for entrepreneurs, executives, coaches, parents, even if you claim you have ADHD, and anyone who just wants to operate at higher levels and get massive shiznit done. It's like a puzzle, and we just teach you how to put all the pieces together and organize it. And this course is typically $1,000. However, it's including the productivity diagram, which I'm actually giving to you guys for free. This is actually like a $50 diagram, and that's for free. I did a hypnosis session with my girl. She's a hypnosis therapist who's done a lot of work with Dr. Joe Dispenza, and that was $97. We have the 6 steps of the F-It mindset of how the brain works and how to prevent you from getting to the space of discouragement like we talked about. And also 3 steps of stop procrastinating, which this course typically like runs around $300, but we're also going to give you the replay of it plus a workbook, and a month free of one-on-one coaching for only $497. So this is something you guys are interested on, really getting a productivity schedule. That just for your group is for you guys from me, tanyacoliver.com/productivity. And that value is at $2,100, but we're only giving it to you for $497. So if you guys are interested, you can also follow me on Instagram at Tanya C. Oliver. And thank you so much for your time. I'll stop my share now.
Wow. Thank you so much, Tanya. I literally almost cried when we did that visualization about where do you see yourself in 1 year? If nothing changed, if you're still grinding. I think that we just live day by day, but we don't really realize these things, and we don't really put ourselves, like, we don't really think that far away. We're just like doing whatever needs to be done every single day. But when you put yourself in a situation where you actually breathe and close your eyes and put your hand in your heart, and you visualize yourself 1 year later, and you find out that nothing has changed, that made me feel really, really sad. Like I felt anxiety, depression, goosebumps. Like it really made me feel like, this is the reason why we do the things that we do. This is the reason why we are part of this, group. This is the reason why we support each other like that. And by hearing somebody with, the level of success that you have, with the expertise, with the coaching, the mindset that you wanted to bring to all of us, we feel so blessed for having you here with us today. So guys, if you are not following her, Tanya, if you can just write your IG in there. Please, everybody.
And
follow her. Yes.
And please make sure that you also send me a DM. I do read all of my own stuff. I have my team like organize my social account, but I still do read every single message. So just let me know that you were in this group Bay Bootcamp, and I'll make sure to say hi. I always like to see, I don't really accept things unless I know where people come from. So just let me know Bay Bootcamp. And then also I put this in here, and I'm going to only offer it for you guys for 24 hours. We start September 8th live. So if you are interested, or if you're on the fence, just reach out to me on Instagram. But click the link and you'll go through the whole sales page, testimonials. This course has been running for about 8 years now, and it's just such a game changer. Bible. It is a game changer. So yeah. But remember, you can follow systems like Alejandra's group, Elena's group, Elena. I don't always, how do I pronounce her name? You even said it. What is it?
Alina.
Alina, I'm so sorry. Please. Everybody says my name wrong all the time. They call me Tanya, but it's Tanya. But you know, these women are providing so much value for you. And sometimes you just, you know, putting these on, and, you know, I met her at the event. And so your energy was contagious, and, you know, you're doing amazing things, and it's an honor to be here today. So thank you. I hope you guys found a lot of value in today's masterclass.
We absolutely did. Thank you so much for joining us today. And we hope to see you again in the next couple of weeks or months, who knows, for another topic. We love to have like people that are so empowering, like training our team just like you. So thank you, Tanya, for your time. And having said that, thank you so much. I will see you the next.